Go back to the jungle pick as Sejuani's immediately taken, played for Wolfe County. Wolfe County taking Sejuani now. Not giving that opportunity as we see a Ramus, maybe? Ramus pick for DOS High for their jungle. We now go to their mid lane, who's going to probably be picking their top laner's champion here. Shen has been banned, so it'll be interesting to see the matchup as they actually they go with a Tarek pick. Tarek locked in for their support. Go now to the mid laner for Wolfe County. Played Kennen last game. Kennen was a little rough. He did make some good team oriented plays there in that last matchup, but he got put really far behind as he goes with Orianna. A good Orianna is a pretty good counter to Zed, so interesting enough to see Orianna be picked this game. Now go with the second wave of bans is Wolfe County bans Jinx. Again, a pretty prevalent player from the last game. DOS High going with their next set of their next ban, which will be on Jax again. Another Jax ban from DOS High. As Wolfe County finishes off with a Twitch ban almost immediately. So Twitch has now been banned. And then the final ban being from DOS High of Nautilus. Wolfe County now going with their first pick of the ban, or first pick of the second wave of picks, sorry. And they select and hover Yorick. Yorick being a very strong champion for the Wolfe County's top laner. He has an overall, as far as I can remember, every game he's played Yorick, he's done very well this season. I don't remember I can think of him playing a particularly bad game with Yorick. As we now go with the ADC for DOS High, who will be going with Tristana. I don't think Tristana's been played this season, has she? On these matchups.
I don't think I've seen her.
Tristana has potential to be a very strong matchup. Tristana's got a pretty good amount of mobility with her rocket jump, as well as her just crazy amount of burst damage and tower shredding. And they finish off with a Poppy pick, top lane. As we now go to the last pick for Wolfe County, who might go with Alistar. Alistar being an open pick. As he actually no, he hovering Galio. Yep, he goes with the Galio pick. So between both teams again, I think a pretty good amount of CC. It's definitely an interesting match. Yeah. Wolfe County getting their... Yeah, this will definitely be an interesting matchup.
Maybe.
If Wolfe County will swap their players.
All right, let's go ahead. We'll do this. All right, we'll go ahead and go over our starting lineup here for your Wolves Blue. We've got senior Cody Sargent in the top lane. In the bot lane running ADC, we've got senior Jarrett White, and his support is junior Jeremy McKinney. Running the jungle, we have junior Cameron Caskey, and in the mid lane, we have senior Brendan Bush. That is your Wolves Blue for spring 2019. We also want to take this time to thank our sponsors. We have Appalachian Wireless, Mountain Telephone, Licking Valley Rural Electric, Farmers and Traders Bank of Campton, Whitaker Bank of Campton, and Sweetheart by Stephanie of Campton, Kentucky. So thanks to all of our wonderful esports sponsors out there. Okay, so we are now waiting on our spectator delay. We've got just a few minutes here. And they did end up switching there. They did get the proper lineup. So, Drew, any thoughts on the matchup here?
Well, as we saw from last game, DOS High definitely did capitalize on their team specifically with their Shen. Shen probably being one of the bigger playmakers for their team that last game, coming with some pretty good ults on his part, managing to save his team multiple occasions, as well as do some good engages. I remember specifically seeing him doing a 4-man taunt, so them managing to get him out of the game is definitely going to save them a lot of headache for Wolfe County. Although they did pick up Poppy instead, so Poppy also a tank who does a really rather unnecessarily large amount of damage than she would be. You wouldn't think as much how much tank she builds. But versus Yorick, it's Yorick does a little bit more, fair bit more damage than Poppy. Him also being pretty tanky as well. Yorick should have at least on paper, the advantage in the top lane. Junglers, Ramus being just pure tank, known specifically for doing a lot of damage to ADCs. He's really good at fighting ADCs. Sejuani we saw her last game doing a lot of work for DOS High. Wolfe County, though, got her this game, so that matchup there is pretty much a toss-up. Zed versus Oriana. Oriana is known for being a Zed counter. It'll be interesting, though, to see if Zed last game made a lot of good plays. So if Oriana knows if Wolfe County, their mid laner knows how to play Oriana very well, she should know how to do a good good CC and manage to counter Zed pretty easily in the mid lane. Tristana versus Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa, if that's sort of matchup. Tristana does have both champions have not the most mobility. Kai'Sa has a slight movement speed boost. Tristana does have a jump that refreshes, I think, based on champion kills or assists, and does give her that bit of a movement. So she does have a bit of an escape. In terms of damage, she does have her exploding sticky bombs, which might come to hurt, but Kai'Sa's passive also does a pretty noticeable amount of damage. Between the supports, Galio and Tarek having his stuns might be an issue, but Galio having his taunts can also be an issue for DOS High. So between the individual lanes, it's pretty even on both sides. Individual-wise, though, probably a little bit more favorable for Wolfe County. Team comp-wise, in terms of general CC, it looks pretty even between the teams. So yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and switch over here to our game. If you're just now joining us, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and the little bell to get notifications for your Wolves Esports all season long. All right, we are just about ready to go into the loading screen here. Thanks everybody for joining. All right, we are now loaded into the matchup. Your Wolves Blue is now on the red side. So once again, your Wolves Blue have the red bars above their heads.
Both teams have now left Fountain, moving to their respective positions. It seems like Ramos might be actually going for his blue buff this matchup, for this first camp. As Wolfe County now go for their red buff. Both junglers actually going for their top camps. Interesting enough. We see Tarek and Tristana moving towards bot side, as Galio and Kai'Sa sit near their blue buff, guarding it. Oriana sits below mid lane towards bot side Pixel Brush, as Yorick and Sejuani sit towards top side Pixel Brush. Poppy and Ram sitting also towards their top side Pixel Brush, and Zed sitting down behind his Raptor camp, now deciding to move into lane. Tarek and Tristana might be going for an early level 1 trade here, sitting in that bush pushed up that far. Tarek managing to get a stun off, might get some early damage off onto Wolfe County here. Wolfe County, Kai'Sa and Galio now moving out of lane moving out of jungle to into lane, as Oriana and Zed move into lane. Minions have pushed up into lanes, and the junglers are now getting their ganks, respectively. Actually, yeah, Ram is starting with that. We see the taunt landing on Kai'Sa as Galio managed to get his taunt onto Tarek and Tristana. Zed and Oriana sitting even mid, just trading nothing major. Gallia, or managing to land a Q there on Zed from Oriana, so good on her. A little bit of early trade, nothing much. York and Poppy sitting top lane. Both teams auto attacks off. A little bit of damage there from Poppy. As Sejuani manages to get her Krugs. Tristana and Tarek already having the early push advantage in the bot lane with that level 1 cheese in the bush. You see the E from we see we see Poppy doing a lot of damage there, forcing York to flash away, almost getting first blood to Poppy. Man, a lot of damage. Poppy does a lot more damage than a lot of people would assume that she would do. So. Good trade there for Poppy. We see Sejuani coming up top lane now, maybe looking for an early gank to compensate for that damage that Poppy does. Tarek and Tristana push back up. We see the Sejuani coming from the side, the dash from Poppy, the passive on her. We see a flash from Poppy, forcing her to run away. As the both lanes trading pretty evenly. We see an auto attack there, connecting on the Galio from Tristana. As Ramus now moves up over his blue buff wall and goes for his blue buff now. York now having the lane pushed up pretty heavily towards Poppy. Sejuani now goes for her Raptor camp as well. And Tristana and Tarek are now pushed up in the bot lane, or pushed back in bot lane pretty far. Oriana taking a very large amount of damage there from Zed. So, Galley landing a Q there on the Tristana, a little bit of it on Tarek as well. Ramus pushed up in the top lane, might be going for a gank. Actually, never mind, he's not going to go for a gank at this point. As he decides to go for his, just go back into his jungle to farm some more. A little bit of BM there from DOS High from Tarek. Gallia throwing up his wall, but not Gallia, but York throwing his wall up, not being able to connect it on it or do anything with it. You see Sejuani coming in from behind for Wolfe County, going for that in-lane gank. Gallia coming out with the wall. We see the stun connecting on a Sejuani from Tarek as Kaiser's gonna Tristana's gonna flash, and the passive is procced onto her from Sejuani. A lot of damage there in that trade. I'm surprised that passive from Sejuani stopped Tristana mid-air like that. That's an interesting interaction, to say the least. Although Tristana's jump can be stopped, the animation is definitely stoppable for her, because such as if she's caught in a Vigar stun, the wall will stop her mid-jump. Poppy now pushing York up under his tower, top lane. As Oriana's going to take a lot of damage, burning her barrier, flash, and getting an E off to try and shield her from damage from Zed. Almost dying in that trade right there, but managing to escape pretty easily. So, good mechanics there from Oriana. York farming pretty well on the top lane. Speaking of farm, let's go ahead and check the CS difference real quick. See York with about a 15 CS lead in the top lane. Jungler's farming about dead even. Again, Wolfe County's mid laner being put pretty early behind on that farm. Sejuani attempting to defend it as he now returns to lane. Him being down about 20 CS this early isn't looking that great. Although Kaiser is up on Tristana and farm this game, about a 7 CS lead. Sorry, 5 CS lead now for Kaiser. So, with about a 400 gold difference in favor of DOS High at the early part of the game. We see a gank now from Rammus in the mid lane. We see Zed coming in with that ulti on Orianna. Orianna going to try and ult him off and not going to be able to do anything as she gets absolutely shredded. Rammus flashed there as well, getting that taunt off with a crazy amount of damage. A lot of that burned for that first blood on her. We see the taunt now landing on the Sejuani from Rammus. As Poppy comes over the wall as well. Poppy managing to land that knock up on this, or that dash on the Sejuani. Sejuani trying to run away, but not be able to get away as Zed manages to secure the kill. Currently sitting 2-0 now. Zed having both those kills secure. No, Rammus actually getting that one kill. That was the first kill for Zed there. It's currently now 1,000 gold lead now in favor of DOS High. Speaking of which, they are now also going for an early Drake, as Tristana and Taric are going to try and get this Drake at level 5 and 4. Rammus coming in from the side now, going to just help them to secure it. Kai'Sa and Galio coming from the side, might try and contest it. Putting a ward now. We see Kai'Sa with a W, going to connect onto Taric, but not going to be able to follow up or do anything with it. Orianna trying to do something mid lane, but just not being able to do anything against this Zed. Zed managing to lane both of his Qs. Zed connecting, like I said, a lot of his stuff. I'm a little surprised they left Zed open, being how much of a threat he was to them last game. We see York now following, fighting Poppy, forcing him to flash away with his Poppy man just out shredding York in the top lane. This is not looking very good at this point for Wolfe County. Zed coming in, or Zed forcing himself to back. Zed backing off from mid lane, managing to throw a Q back, connecting with Orianna. Kai'Sa now returns to lane. I'm going to try and farm up some. As York now pushes back up to lane as well. Sejuani going for her jungle red buff. Zed again back in lane. Orianna immediately backing off, realizing how much of a threat he is at this point. As we might be looking for another gank here. We see Kai'Sa coming up and Galio coming back into mid lane as well. Maybe looking for a potential team fight or group fight on. We see Poppy manage, or we see Galio, or not Galio, but York landing the W as well as the E, managing to trap in Poppy there, getting that off with those minions there on her. So some good damage there from York in top lane. Managing to dodge the Q there from Poppy, also gone. We see Elton coming up with the W and E onto Poppy as well. Orianna coming in, just taking a lot. As Orianna's going to be taken down from Zed again. Ulti from Zed, just demolishing Orianna. See now Sejuani coming in, going to try and get that kill on Zed as she manages to cure with that smite, making sure that he isn't able to escape. Good shutdown on Zed there from Sejuani, getting that 250 gold. Scores now 3-1, about 1,000 gold lead in favor of DOS High, with a Cloud Drake in there for DOS High as well. We see Sejuani coming in from a Tri-Bush with that gank. We see an E connecting onto Taric, stun missing as Kai'Sa comes in. We see we see the passive for Sejuani proccing onto Taric there as Kai'Sa is able to come up with that Q, just demolish him, and Sejuani cleans it up. We actually see now DOS High going for this for the Rift Herald versus Wolfe County last match. York sitting outside the Baron Pit and backing as Rammus and Poppy are now going to be able to secure that Rift Herald without any contesting. Orianna pushing topside, or pushing up towards topside now. Trying to keep that lane pushed up as Poppy and Rammus now secure the Rift Herald. As Rift Herald secured for them. Sejuani and York pushing up mid lane now. Rammus coming in from the side for the gank. You see York popping his ultimate. The taunt landing on Sejuani with Zed coming in absolutely demolishing him. An ult from Rammus as well. York trying to do his best to put some damage down right now, but early this game York isn't able to put out as much damage as he should. A smite from Rammus onto York as Zed pushes the lane up. W from Kaiser connecting onto Tristana. We see an ult from Zed. He's going to go taking a good portion of damage from the turret as he goes back with the Ignite Flash combo and just manages to shred York. So good trade there from DOS High. Their mid laner is a big threat for them right now, for Wolfe County, and them leaving Zed open, unlike last game, is rather surprising. I would have assumed that they would have banned Zed rather than Jinx in their ban phase, but this is surprising. Ramus landing the taunt on Sejuani. Sejuani dashes away as Zed attempts to get his WEQ combo onto Sejuani to burst some damage down, but she's going to be able to dash out of it and get away. Orianna sits top lane trying to defend. Seems like York and Orianna did trade. We see Ramus getting that, popping that Rift Herald, but Sejuani manages to stop it as she manages to take him down to an ult from Sejuani on the Zed. We see her also just a bunch of damage there. Sejuani putting in some good work there mid lane, managing to get rid of that Rift Herald before it spawns. So good on Wolfe County for managing to get rid of that big push threat from them. So still sitting with 0 towers for both sides as well. Wolfe County now going for their first Drake, which will be a Cloud Drake. They should be able to get it uncontested, seeing how Ramus is just now respawning, is now moving back in the lane. And they do. They secure the Cloud Drake. Poppy putting some Orianna with some auto attacks on the Poppy there, as York gets a little bit of turret plating there. Ramus coming in from the side, going to try and get that Q connecting, forcing York to flash. Sejuani comes from the side, the taunt landing on Sejuani with an ult activated from Ramus. So Ramus did ult there. York trying to defend this tower, trying to keep it up as long as possible. Zed getting some damage in there, landing almost all of his skill shots. Zed doing a ton of damage. Zed's a big threat for Wolfe County at this point, sitting at a 4-1 score. He being the entirety of their team at this point in terms of damage. You see Taric ulting in as Galio managed to get that taunt off. You see the stun landing on Galio as Poppy teleports in from top lane, not going to be able to do much though in terms of engaging on that little fight there. But they might be able to secure this first tower. See Zed coming in. See Galio with the 2-man taunt, or the 1-man taunt. Sorry, Zed ulted onto Kaiser there, as Ramus secures the kill on Kaiser. Zed comes back in, just demolishing Galio, but getting healed from Taric. Those heals from Taric, saving Zed from dying. As DOS High manages to secure the first turret, being in bot lane. We see now we see Poppy and Taric pushing the lane up as York and Sejuani now trying to defend. See Sejuani now trading some bit in the top lane there against Zed, but Zed's doing a ton of damage back. York landing his W there onto Tristana. Good minion damage from his good damage from his minions there. As Zed goes in with the ulti on Sejuani in the top lane, Sejuani ulting Zed as he manages to kill her with the ulti. He manages to escape using his Yumu's, not dying there. So, but we do see some fall. We see Galio, Kaiser, and York now pushing in the top lane as Orianna goes back mid to defend from Taric and Tristana. Poppy now going towards top side. York pushing up the lane pretty hard. Ramus coming up to try and defend. We see a wall thrown up from York there, forcing Ramus off of them as Poppy comes up from jungle. Galio also coming up pretty close. Orianna pushing mid lane now. Ramus and Poppy now pushing the lane, trying to defend, clearing those minions. Galio going in with that dash. Got the taunt, not going to be able to connect on anybody as they're out of range. Zed now back mid lane. Tarek also coming mid lane, or as Zed pushes up that lane really far. We see the wall coming in on Poppy there as she manages to dash, knock out. We see a flash from Poppy. Galio with that dash and the taunt, managing to get the kill. Given to Kaiser secures that kill. Zed will destroy mid lane tower though. Let's see an ult. Zed absolutely melting Orianna as well mid lane. A ton of damage there from Zed. Orianna probably wasn't the best pick for this matchup. Zed just in this current meta right now, Orianna also isn't the strongest. Zed just able to go in and just absolutely melt Orianna, not be able to do much about it. We see Galio and coming in as well with a Sejuani trying to secure that kill. Tarek trying to run away. Ignited from Galio, going to run away as Yorick almost gets the kill. Kaiser kills Zed. Galio secures a kill on Tarek with that ignite. Wolfgang now, or the score now currently sitting 9-6 with a 3,000 gold lead in favor of DOS High, with 2 towers in their favor as well. Both teams each have 1 Cloud Drake. York taking a lot of damage there from Tristana's sticky bombs. Check the CS real quick. We'll see Orianna's down about 50 CS mid. Top lane, York's about 40 CS up on Poppy. Junglers are dead even. Bot laners now, Tristana is the lead, ahead of Kaiser with about a 20 CS lead. As Wolfgang now is going to go and secure their second Cloud Drake. So, good on Wolfgang there, getting another objective. Objectives are always good. Now the entirety of Wolfgang backs, except for Orianna. She goes down mid lane to try and push that wave up a little bit. Poppy now goes top lane, trying to split push that wave up. York now finally acquiring his Trinity Force. A big damage boost for York there. We see Tristana, we see Tarek and Zed pushing up the mid lane. Tarek clearing some vision as Poppy's going to push top and probably will be able to get this tower top lane. Unless York and Sejuani can get there and stop it in time. We see Zed coming with the ulti on Orianna. Orianna missing the ulti, for some reason not even on her, as Orianna just gets absolutely melted. That random ulti from Orianna would have been nice if the ball was on her. It would have been a good way to potentially get that shutdown on Zed. No, he actually doesn't have a shutdown, I'm sorry. It would have been a good kill on him if that ball was on him. But noticeably enough, Wolfgang, we see it engage. We see Galio with the 2-man taunt dash combo. Zed forced to flash over the wall. We see York coming in, following up, trying to do crazy damage on the Zed. We see a Q from Ram. We see Rams coming with the ulti on the side. Kaizo from the side, bursting him down, almost dying to him, as Sejuani also is forced to back off. So, a decent trade from both teams there. Poppy, or Tristan, also pushing that side lane, allowing her cannon minion to secure it. We see Sejuani coming from the side there with a knock. We see a wall thrown up by W and Q, both landing from York. Tarek with the ulti on Poppy and himself, as Galio does the Q. We see Zed coming in from the side, going to try and get some kills here. As he comes from the side with the damage, he ults onto York, but not going to be able to do anything much, as he manages to kill Sejuani, but dies to York. York securing a double kill in that process, as York manages to get a triple kill, shutting down Poppy as well. But all that being nice and fine and dandy, except for the fact that Tristan is on the side lane, pushing that up pretty far. Tristan is not going to be able to secure that inhibitor tower as well without any resistance. Maybe not. No, actually, she's going to get close to securing it, but not managing to take it down with a lack of a minion wave to aid her in pushing it. Ramus goes into his bot side jungle now to clear his red buff, as Wolfgang now back and return to lane. Kaisa's pushing top lane. See Tristana now in her bot side jungle, clearing that blue buff for herself, stealing the blue buff from Wolf County. We see York split pushing bot lane now. Orianna pushing back mid lane, trying to get that wave pushed back up. Orianna not doing much well at all this game, sitting currently at 0-4. Again, Zed just managing to be able to just absolutely just demolish her, waiting for the right time for her to use her her ball and stuff with her shield, and just coming in right after that with a crazy amount of damage. We see the attempted dash as well as Q from Sejuani there onto Zed to do some damage. Zed coming in with the ulti onto Orianna. An ult from Orianna actually connecting this time. We see Sejuani landing the ult on Zed as well. We see Kai'Sa with a W on Zed as Galio secures the kill. Kai'Sa ulting in onto Poppy here. Poppy dash. We see Galio with the knock-up, Sejuani with the Q, and Kai'Sa secures another kill on Poppy this time. So good engage from them on that side. Wolfgang actually didn't lose anyone in that fight there, so that's good. We see the E from from York there on Poppy. So see the Q connecting from Sejuani as well as the W from Kai'Sa. We see Galio coming in with a dash as well as taunt connecting onto Tarek as he's going to be completely shredded by the team, and Kai'Sa secures a kill. Kai'Sa doing very well this game versus last game. The ADC or definitely the MVP for Wolfgang right now at this point being Kai'Sa. York is doing okay, managing to get that triple kill, which definitely turned around. But Kai'Sa's been doing overall more consistently better this game, for the majority of this game. So good on her, managing to land that W on Tristana. Let's check the CS real quick. York about 50 CS on Poppy, so doing well in the top lane. Jungle, Rammus about 10-15 CS lead on Sejuani. We see Orianna down about 50 CS on Zed. Kai'Sa down about 30 CS on Tristana. So overall CS lead is in favor of DOS High at this point. See Zed now going in to clear a ward from Pixel Brush. As Rammus and Zed coming in from the side, we see Zed backing off. Orianna throwing her ball onto Galio, attempting to maybe look for a little bit of engage there from him, but he didn't decide to go in or anything like that. We do see a dash coming in with Q connecting onto Tristana there, so decent engage attempt from Sejuani, but no one's going to be able to follow up with that. W from Kai'Sa connecting. We see a taunt coming in, 3-man taunt. We see Galio shredding down Zed as the ult from Sejuani connects with him. The taunt from missing from Tarek, as Wolfgang is just going to go in and keep just bursting them down, but they're going to be able to back off and get out of safety. So Wolfgang did have a good fight there right there. Wolfgang has now, it seems like the last couple of fights, Wolfgang has made the smart decisions in terms of engaging, deciding to take down Zed immediately, who is one of the bigger threats for them at this point. He actually is the biggest threat for them at this point. Sorry, Wolf. The score currently 11-14, 9 of the kills being on Zed. If they manage to shut Zed down and keep the rest of their team from being able to do anything, Wolfgang will be able to turn this game around definitely for the better. We see the rocket jump. We see Kai'Sa ulting on Tristana with that auto attack, not managing to finish her off. We see the flash over the wall from Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa coming with that auto attack. Poppy coming over the wall with that flash dash, managing to get that combo off onto Poppy. The Poppy's E. We see Galio with the taunt landing on two people. We see the wall thrown from York, managing also as well York getting knocked away from the Poppy ult. So if they would have been in range, that definitely could have been an easy double kill for somebody. Specifically, Orianna would have been an easy double kill if she managed to get her ulti off on the two people that were sitting in that wall. Zed comes in with the ult, specifically going on Orianna. Orianna ulting Zed. We see Galio coming with the side. We see Galio also going for the ult. The ult canceled from the Tarek stun, as Galio secures the kill with his auto attack ignite on Rammus. We see Sejuani coming in from the side. We see a wall pulled up from York, going with that W with those minions. We see some auto attacks, some Qs here and there on Poppy. Orianna securing the kill on Poppy. York going back in and out, managing to be able to. York having probably some of the most sustain out of the team at this point for Wolfe County. Very well, very good engages on his part. DOS High now going for their second Drake of the game, which will be an Ocean Drake, as they secure the Ocean Drake without any problems. All lanes now pushed in favor of DOS High. Mid lane froze about even in mid lane, or froze about even in the middle of it. The side lanes, however, both pushed up in favor of DOS as York goes to clear a Wolf camp. At this point right now, Tarek and Tristana are just pushing a side lane, trying to get some pressure up as Zed, Rammus, and Poppy push up mid lane. See Tarek coming in, trying to stop York from getting that blue buff. Sejuani comes in from the side, probably going to try and secure the blue buff. It looks like Wolfgang might be going for another engage. We see the W landing from Kai'Sa and York, an E from him. Not going to be able to get any range on it. Not going to be able to get anyone walled in. Zed and Poppy now pushing up mid lane without anyone trying to stop them. Now Wolfe converging on the mid lane, trying to get that pressure from being, or stop that pressure from being put up on it. York activating an ult, not be able to do much with it though at this point, being that they're out of range. We see Sejuani coming in from the side. Might see a Sejuani ult here in a second for an engage. Sejuani gets the Q off onto Taric. Her team just following up. Some auto attacks on Taric there. As we see Taric with the ultimate activated. Not going to be able to do much though, as Orianna manages to secure the kill before it does anything for him. Although it does manage to get activated on Poppy and Zed. See the W from Kai'Sa thrown down there. Didn't know if anyone connected with anybody or not. So good engage on Wolfe there, managing to take down that or get Taric without any problems. See all Wolfe now sitting in Pixel Brush. Now their plans being fooled as they have to attack. See Zed ulting onto Yorick as Ramus comes in from the side with the ulti. We see Zed flashing over after Kai'Sa. Orianna with the ulti on Zed as he manages to secure the kill. Galio coming with that ult as well, and Poppy ulting. Going to be able to knock away Yorick, as not going to be able to do much though, as the rest of her team is separated from her. She decides to back off. We see Orianna manages to follow up against Orianna, or Poppy not going to be able to do much. Ramus comes from the side. Sejuani with the Q connecting onto him, the smite and the W from York, managing to finish up and secure that kill on Ramus. Wolfe now making some decent plays here. The score isn't as good for them as it was last game. Wolfe though, however, is up. Definitely having wait, no, sorry. Yeah, Wolfe does have the kill advantage here. Sorry, again, 6 kills up, down about almost 3,000 gold. Tristana now goes in. Sejuani, Galio missing the wall, missing the dash, connecting on the wall instead. As Tristana jumps over the wall, and Sejuani going to be able to secure the kill, but Galio gets the kill on himself. Galio getting a lot of kills. Galio currently 5-1-12. Last game as well. The support for Wolfe having a substantial amount of kills for what he's for being a support. So definitely interesting. See now Ramus and Zed now moving back out of their base. Zed moving back towards mid. Ramus going back towards his top side jungle. Going to go probably directly towards his blue buff. Yes, he is. As Poppy now going into bot side jungle for Sejuani. Taric also following up. You see Galio and Kai'Sa pushing down bot lane in front of Taric, as they're might be going for a backdoor. It seems they are going for a backdoor. Taric and Poppy attempting to go for a backdoor there, trying to get that inhibitor tower, but not going to be able to do anything with it. No minions pushed up that far. We see Ramus now going in on York as York decides to ult or try and teleport away, but not going to be able to do anything as that taunt comes in last second and stops him from being able to get away. Orianna does secure a kill on Taric though, as he manages to get a 1-for-1. Poppy tries to escape. We see Ramus now going for the Rift Herald. It looks like DOS High going for a Rift now, or for Baron. Sorry, as they immediately decide to back off now, seeing that Wolfe has managed to converge on them. Sejuani goes over the wall, waiting to land a Q. Orianna throwing her ball onto Sejuani, and ult lands on Zed, as Zed has a, I don't know how he got out of that ult. I think he had a QSS or something. We've seen ult on Orianna from Zed, and a taunt from Taric, or a taunt from Zed, or a taunt from Ramus, sorry. Managing to give Zed a kill to Orianna. The W from Kai'Sa connecting on a Poppy there, as DOS High again attempting again on that Baron buff. As Poppy going to go with that ulti, trying to throw him away. Not going to be able to connect in with anybody this game, or this fight, as Taric comes in from the side. Poppy forced to flash. Taric coming in when Taric is ulting. Zed comes in from the side, doing a lot of damage. The ult activated, doing a lot of damage. Zed secures the kill on Galio. We see Sejuani come over the wall. Ramus securing the kill on York. We see the passive proccing on Ramus from Sejuani. Zed dashing over. We see Ramus coming in the smite. We see the taunt landing on Sejuani. Not going to be able to let her hit the plant. Sadly enough, nope. We see Kai'Sa also going over the wall. We see her trying to burst down, almost bursting down Tristana, but not going to be able to do anything in that fight. Orianna now respawn, going back the lane, as we see what looks like another attempt from a third attempt from DOS High going for that Baron buff. This time again, their entire team little low health, as Orianna's might be going for a Baron steal over the wall. See Zed coming in. Actually, no, Zed's going in that bush warded. Orianna ulting way too early on Zed. Zed managing to get follow up. Just too much damage from Zed there on Orianna. As DOS High now is going to be able to secure this Baron buff without any contesting. Score is now 21-21 with a 6,000 gold lead in favor of DOS High and a 4 turret lead in their favor as well. You see York now throwing his ult top lane. Zed popping his W to escape out of the York wall. Ramos now going to Baron for Dragon for a third Dragon, this time being in Mountain Drake. As Kai'Sa, Sejuani, and York now push top lane. York trying to get some of that split pushing down as Kai'Sa and Sej now meet Galio going towards mid lane. Maybe going jungle or going bot lane, trying to stop that jungle, trying to stop the Dragon from being taken. We see a W from Kai'Sa now thrown towards Dragon Pit as Sejuani tries to go in and stop it, but not going to be able to do it too fast as Ramus is able to smite it. Zed just coming in, just almost instantly deleting that Kai'Sa. We see Sejuani taking too much damage on Tristana from that ult there, forcing Galio to flash. The taunt landing on Ramus and Zed from him there, so good taunt from Galio. As DOS High just pushing the lane now. A lot of pushing here from DOS High now with that Baron buff. And get that inhibitor turret. We see Tristana now just going intermediate on Orianna, just shredding Orianna. Now we see Tristana we see them now securing their first inhibitor of the game. DOS High now pushing, clearing out those waves. They go now for the first inhibitor, or for the first turret of the game. First next turret now gone. We see Zed going in. We see an ult from Taric now. Not going to be able to stop them as they now manage to go cleared out. Going to go take out. We see an ult from Poppy throwing them back away as they're not going to be able to stop, and they manage to secure the game. That's another win for DOS High in this matchup.
And we'll be back next week for your playoff coverage of your Wolves Blue. So thanks everybody for joining us. We will see everybody next week.